Good morning, everyone. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I've put together a bunch of things I've made this year, and I'm going to let Scott take them into work on Wednesday, just to share my things that were lovingly made with anybody that would like to take something from the box. I figure if everybody takes one item, there's a little something in here. And I'm waiting until Wednesday to send it with him because I'd like to make a couple more dishcloths and maybe throw a few hats in for the guys, because not all guys like, baskets and stuff like that. But I thought I would share what's in my gifting tub. All right, so we're just going to go through this stuff together. And this will go with my husband to work, and his coworkers can choose something from the box. And I hope that everybody finds something that they'd like. I am including this little Afghan. I don't know what size it is, but it's not in colors that I would normally use around the house. So hopefully somebody will, say, wow, I want that Afghan, and take it home. So there's this Afghan is in here. It could be for a child. It could be for, grandma's lap, whatever. And then I've made some square dishcloths. Some are scrappy, which scrappy ones to me are just fun. And I'm going to call. Sorry about that. Coughed into my arm. This one's done in Tunisian crochet, where you work a whole row at a time. Hi, Leanna. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Melanie. Looking to see who else is here. Hi, Helen. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. And here's a patriotic dishcloth, red, white, and blue. And then there's this one that, again, it's made with yarn scraps. I ran out of the maize, so I just used light yellow on two sides of it. I just think it looks quirky and cute to me. I do have one child's hat in here, so it's for a child. I've got a couple flower dishcloths, or you could use this one almost as a hot pad. It's so thick. And then this could be just either a dishcloth or something to set something on to protect a table. So there's those. And then I've made a bunch of chocolate baskets. And the reason I call them chocolate baskets is they're small. They could also be used for a variety of storage ideas. So I need to turn this light. It's really irritating me. Some days I can handle it real bright on me, and other days it's like, no, you need to point the other direction. And I am dressed in layers because it's cold here. So there's this one that's in pastels. I think there's 19 baskets in a variety of sizes. I love this one. It's just a little guy. And somebody said these would be great for your plastic clips. And then there's this one. This one that's green. Greens and black and gray. And I love the earthy browns and rich colors like that. And then here's one that kind of looks like Halloween with greens and purples. I can't get the light quite right. I don't know what to do. Let's just turn this big light off and see if that makes it better. My overhead light is just really bright. And with my white hair, it seems to reflect everything. That's a little bit better. But I thought I'd share some of these baskets and things. Just share what's in my gifting box. And then I do have some that are a little bit larger. Oh, you got to meet Dana. I saw that in Ann's group chat yesterday. These two, this one and this one, remind me of Good and Plenty candy. And they're two different sizes. I made a variety of sizes because not everybody wants a tiny basket. This one's a cute size. And then this is one of my favorites because I used a real, I think it was called Pebbles yarn, just on the top row. And it gives it a nice little finish. I have seen where people have crocheted baskets and then took like grapevine and attached it at the top. But I didn't do that on mine. So I'm going to just trying to stack these so they don't cover. And then we've got the weird one we did together that time when it went kind of sideways, but I fixed it. And I just think it looks cool. It'd be good for storing things. Like I said, I've been making baskets. This one's purple and gray and black. And this one's another earthy grays and creams. Oh, is Vicki here? Why can't I see her? Oh, there she is. Good morning, Vicki. And then I have some that are even bigger. This one's about the same size as I've been making as far as toward the bigger, the smaller run baskets. Let's see if I can get, nope, that one's, I don't know. And then I got this one that's got handles. It's a little floppy, but as soon as you fill it with something, they fill up, and then they work fine. So like I could put these baskets inside of this basket. Like so. And see, once you put something in them, it holds up. And this one, my cats have been eyeing. And this one is tall, but you can roll it down. And it's another storage basket. And these are great if you're a crocheter or knitter, because you can put multiple balls in here and pull from the centers and work out of it. So there's the baskets. I'm going to clear them off real quick, like here. Put them back in the box. And Scott will take these into work. And I told him, I said, if they don't want anything from the box, they're not going to hurt my feelings. I just want to share some of the things I've made. And they're stacked together, so you have to pull them apart to see what all the baskets look like. I think I've got room enough here now that I can pull out. And then I'm also including the things that I finished last in January. Do you remember in January where I did my whole works in progress, wrap it up type thing? And I've got 2 pair of size 3 little boy PJs, one with helicopters and one with wolves. So those are a size 3. And then I have some size 4 PJs, one with dragons and one with bad to the bone skulls. There, I've got a couple little short sets, size 3 for a little girl. So it's got a top and a pair of shorts. And this is a top and a pair of shorts. And this is the one with the butterfly shorts and top with the kind of sailor collar on it. And then this is a pant set with a pretty floral top with flower trim and then green pants to match. And that was a size 4. And this one's a size 5. This is a size 3. And then I've got the 2 dresses that match, but one's an 8 and one's a 10 in the pansies. So if they've got a little girl that's a size 8 or 10, this is a beautiful spring dress to have ready for Easter, is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to put all the little girl stuff together, and then the little boy stuff will be together. Not saying that a little girl can't wear these PJs if she likes wolves or dragons or whatever. That would work too. Clothes are not gender specific. I'm sorry, they're not. Anyway, I'm going to put that hat with the child stuff. And I got to make all this stuff fit back in this box. And I'm not sure how I had it in here. But that's what I'm doing. And I've done this in the past for family, where I just make a bunch of stuff and everybody can choose something from the basket. And that way I can gift my handmade items and they can choose the items, that they will use. I would rather they chose stuff they will actually use than me just to make things specifically for them, and then I've made something they don't really want. This way they have a choice. I was telling Scott I might need to get him a bigger container to carry this in, but anyway, let's see if we can get the top back on. All right, so I did. So there, he'll take that in, and people at work can choose something from the bin, and if they don't want to, they don't have to. I'm sorry, I've got to. So I don't have anything else planned for this morning. I know Leanna comes on here shortly. I don't know what else we can do. We did go thrifting, and Scott spotted some, this is flexi lace for hems. So like if you make a dress and it's not really long enough, do a full like inch and a quarter, inch and a half hem, you attach this lace to the bottom and then just flip it up and stitch it in place. And that way all you're using up is like a quarter inch of the length of the dress, and you still have something to put a hem in. That's what this is for. And then this is soft and easy hem tape. You can also use this to stabilize shoulder seams on knit clothing or even woven clothing where they ask you to put this on. And those were $1 a piece, I think. Yeah, $1. So that wasn't bad. And we haven't really been finding much at the thrift stores. Everything's really picked over. I think everybody is thrifting now. Which kitty are we seeing? That is Callie. And you'll notice I've put a folded blanket like a bed, and then they've got one of the handmade basket beds there. And usually 2 are over here because Callie doesn't like the boys near her. Even though they are brothers and sister, they're all from the same litter. So we've got Callie, and then Tippy is white with gray on his head, and then Howie is kind of he's just I don't know what you'd call him. He's a goofball. He's got kind of a mottled splotches on a white background. And then my son has Piper, who's also a calico, and the 2 calicos don't really like each other. Piper doesn't like anybody. Piper is like sassy. She puts up with Cole, who's Greg's other cat. He's a long-haired black and white tuxedo cat. And he is called an a-hole. That's what we say, Cole the a-hole, because he is a jerk. He's the most vocal of the cats, and he comes in from the bonus room, and he goes around and he tries to pick a fight with Howard, and then he tries to pick a fight with Tippy. And Callie, she don't mess around. She just tells him, no. But anyway, so let's see, what else do we got going on besides our crazy cats? I did finish the Butterick Bee 4225. Let me go grab it real quick. I still haven't tried it on because I need someone to help zip me up. I'm sure it's gonna fit just fine. It'd be nice to try it on. And it's black, so it's going to be hard to show you all the details. But it's just a simple black dress with a zipper and a hook and eye. I was trying to remember. And I did end up here putting some trim, and I hand sewed all that trim all the way around, and it's just a braid. We used to call that, what did we call it at Joann's? I don't remember. Gimp, a gimp trim. So yeah, see, I think it'll fit just fine. So that was a fun finish. And that's something I need to pull from my jar. We'll hang that there. I was so thankful for my red hat. I don't know if everybody's seen it or not, but I wore my Christmas outfit, and we didn't even get our picture done except for when the photographer came around and took a picture of Scott and I and his boss, Reed, and Reed's wife. So I made this hat because I went and got my hair cut really short, and it was really cold Saturday night. So I made this cute hat to wear, and oh, I was so thankful to have it. And yeah, so I got this made in time, and I had started a shawl to match it, but come 3 o'clock, I was like, I'm not going to finish this. So I just wore a simple black sweater. But I've got to tell you all about our trip to the Christmas party. All right, so Scott works in a very small town, which is two towns together, and they call themselves Batesburg-Leesville. There's Batesburg, and then there's Leesville, or vice versa. Well, in Leesville is where he actually works, and that's where the Christmas party was. But it wasn't going to be at the same place we went last year, so Scott didn't really know where we were going. So we punched the address in, and we're driving out, and we're going farther and farther out of town, and we're like, oh my God. And then I told Scott, I said, are we going to show up at Bubba's Double Wide and have a bonfire with us all drinking beer around the bonfire? And Scott says, I don't think so. And then all of a sudden the car goes, you have arrived. And I'm like hell we have. There ain't nothing out here. And so Scott went past where it said you've arrived. And I said, we got to figure out what this place is. So I typed in the address to find out what kind of business it was. And it was at a tree farm. And we were like, so I guess we have arrived. But it didn't look like anything was going on there. I mean, it was like there was a barely lit up little hut where I guess you go to buy your Christmas trees. And if you look down in the woods, you could see a little light. So we were driving down this gravel driveway, and it was crazy. But anyways, all of a sudden there's a parking lot full of cars, and this barn is all lit up. So it's just it was a barn that was made with just slats of wood. So there's little slots in between. So they had those big, I don't know what they're heated with, but you know, the big heaters that are real tall, and they've got the heat up here. And they had a bunch of those in there, but it was still frigid cold. And Scott told me the whole party started at 6, but he never wants to get there at 6. So he said, I want to be fashionably late. Well, then as we're trying to figure out where we're going, I said, honey, this party started at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, not 6. So we were 2 hours late. So everybody was well inebriated by the time we got there. We don't drink anymore. So it was just really interesting. But anyway, we got to meet Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. And she's a plant manager where Scott works. And she's subscribed to my channel. So welcome to Jennifer. Sweet gal. And yeah, Bubba's barn. Yeah. It was really beautiful inside. I didn't get any pictures. They had pretty Christmas lights done up, and it was real pretty in there. It's just, it was very compacted, and I was having a lot of trouble because of so many people, because you guys know I'm at home by myself most of the time, and I don't handle crowds well for the main reason I can't hear a thing in a place like that. And the music was up loud. Everybody was having a good time. Couldn't hear a thing. People were trying to talk to me and I just nod my head because I can't hear a thing. So anyway, yeah, it was interesting. And we only stayed about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And we just are, I told Scott, I said, if they want to do the raffles or the raffle tickets, they give stuff away, but they keep that going to keep everybody there and keep the party going. But I told Scott this morning, I said, they need to think about the fact that anybody over 60 at 9 o'clock, we're ready to go to bed. So I am not up for late nights and then driving out in the dark. That was crazy. Melanie, I'm deaf in my left ear. So we could sit right next to each other and hear each other fine. As long as you were on my right and I was on your left, we'd do great. Yeah, I've lost the eustachian tube in my left ear is so small, it never drains properly. And so there's always too much fluid in this ear, and I can't hear a thing on this side. So if Scott gets on my left side, I always say, no good, can't hear you. So, yep, I'm usually in bed by 9. At about 8:15, 8:30, that one starts mommying me. You know how a mama cat will go, she does that to me. It's like, it's time for bed. Come on. Oh, I remember what we were going to do. We're going to pull the black dress project out of my jar, and I'll choose something else out of here. So I need to put on here that we finished that. But you know what? It was a different pattern too. So I need to change the pattern number because that pattern I had chosen before was for a petite person. And I'm 2 inches taller than the tallest measurement on a petite. It's 5'3" and under. So that wasn't going to work for me. So instead of McCall's 7920, I did Butterick 4225. So I need to find the card 9. But first, let's choose one to do my next project. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. Don't ask me why, but I've been up since 3 o'clock. All right, so here's our little thing. It's number 12. And number 12 is Butterick 9492, the vintage little 2 dresses. Oh, that's an old project. That one's left over from the beginning of the year. So let me grab those. Where did they go? There they are. This is 12. Oh, I'm excited about this because I've been wanting to finish these. I don't have anybody in mind for these. So these will be something else I add to my gift bucket. But it's a really old vintage little girl's dress here. And what had happened is older patterns are notoriously hard to understand. Even there, you really have to pay attention because not everything is labeled, or the diagrams for cutting them out aren't very clear. And so I messed up what I had chosen for the dresses. So I went and before Joann's closed on this here, this is the skirt front. I need to look back through this pattern to see if there's a skirt back. I think what you do is you just cut 2 of these. That's where I messed up. Oh, wait. I know one of them's huge because you have these big, funny looking darts. Skirt side and back. So you have a skirt front, a side, and a back. And you need 2 of these. And it wasn't real clear that you needed 2 of them. And so when I started to look at it, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to have to verify this again and make sure I'm cutting this out correctly. So I had started these. Let's see if I can fold this back up, at least somewhat. And so what I've got is cut out. This will be one dress right here. And it's going to be a combination of this. This will be the collar. These are the collars. These are the little sleeves because this is a size 1. These are the old patterns only came in one size. So this will go with the little birdies. Okay. So picture the bodice will be the birdies, and then the collar will be the little flowers, and the sleeves will be the flowers. And then the skirt is going to be this red with this print on it. And I think that'll be really cute. So that'll be one dress. And then the other one, or maybe not. I don't know. Hang on. I've got... Oh, yeah. Here we go. I don't know. I've got to sort this out because this is... It's all mixed up. I got to sort it back out. So I've got this one. So maybe it is that I'm going to have one with the bodice with the birds and one with the bodice with the flowers. Maybe that's what it is. Like I said, this has been cut out for a long time. But for the birdie bodice one, I have this fabric. It looks like little check is in it. So again, I'm going to have to sort all of this back out, figure out which pattern pieces go with which little dress and so on. But I will be so glad to get these 2 little dresses made because look how cute they are. And you're supposed to make this little slip to go with it. I'm going to have to see if I've got some white muslin that I could make a little slip. And for the ruffle, instead of making ruffle, I might just use lace because you need this slip in its fullness to make the little dress poof out. So yeah, it looks like I have some figuring to do. And hopefully I can figure this out this time. It really is a challenge to step back in time and use the patterns from long ago. I can almost guarantee this doesn't have a copyright on it, but the pattern only cost 40 cents. So I'm thinking 1940s maybe pattern from New York, London, Toronto, and Sydney, printed in the United States of America. No copyrights on it anywhere. So I guess I need to do some ciphering on this. I'm certain I have enough of the bodice pieces and sleeves and stuff cut. I just need to figure out where I messed up last time and make sure I cut the skirt out correctly. Because to me, I don't know. I wish they were clearer about what to cut where and how many to cut from. It'll take some ciphering. We're going to call it that. So I need to mark that I finished number 9, and I'm going to do number 12, which is this one. And I've got these pretty little buttons I had in my stash because I thought I'd be able to find something that would go with them in there. So I'm going to put this back in there because the old patterns, the cats like to chew on that old paper, so I have to hide the patterns. All right, so there's that. So let me peek through here and we'll pull out number 9 so we don't look at it again. Am I doggone creative? I try to be. There's number 9. How about that? I picked it out first one. All right, I need to, I'm going to mark that I finished that dress just, I finished that probably last Thursday, so 15, 14, 13, 12, the 11th. We're just going to say I finished it on the 11th. So that's number 9. And then number 12, I'm going to staple on the back. And then I'll put the date I finish it on the tag when it's finished. And then I can put this back in our jar. So I have a number of things left in there. I did add a few more things to the jar that I came across because I'm trying to be honest and put works in progress that I find that have to be finished. And I am going to finish those baby quilts. I don't know what I'll do with them, but I'll finish them. Maybe I'll send them to Leanne and she can do something with them because I know she does a lot of donating. I wish there was more opportunities closer to me to donate stuff. There might be, but I never hear about them. So I guess I let you guys go and get your day started. And jump on over to Pastry Queen. She does a live in the mornings before she goes into school. She works in a school. What was the make or company for the pattern? It's the Butter It company. I got this pattern for 49 cents. And usually vintage patterns, they'll try to jack it up because, you know, you can't get them anymore. And you can see it was for a breast of 20 and a size 1. So this is for like a 12-month-old baby. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. And I think I'm doing view B with A sleeves. I wasn't planning to do lace on the sleeves and the neck like the yellow one, but I'm not going to do the bodice with the scallops. I'm not doing that. I'm doing the straight bodice. So on these patterns, when they show you like a different bodice and all that, you don't have to do exactly what's on there. You can mix it up yourself. Like if you don't want to put lace on the sleeves, do the sleeves like they did on A. Never think that you're limited to just the views they show you because you can mix and match collars. You can mix and match your sleeves. You know, you can mix it up and come up with a whole lot more choices. So I just love vintage patterns, except when they throw me a pickle like this one did, because the cutting out of the skirt was a real mystery to me, and I really messed it up. And I'm hoping everything's in here. So I guess I'll sit and try to figure this out. I do want to make more dishcloths to put in because that's something the gals all love is the dishcloths, and they do wear out. So I'll work on some dishcloths. I think I'm done with baskets. I think 19 is enough baskets to throw in there. I'm hoping there's a little something in the basket that people would want. And if I had someone to give it to personally, I would give it to them. But all the kids in my family now are older, and the little ones are not in my life. I'm just not going to go into all that. So anyway, sometimes family is hard. We'll just put it that way. And I still love my family. I just, for peace of mind, I've had to make some choices, and I hope they're okay with it. It's just some things you just are ready to not rehash, and that's it. You're just over it and done, and you have to move past it. All right. Oh, yes, it's chilly, isn't it, Lala? All right, guys, have a great day and a great week. I will see you Wednesday. Still don't know what we're going to do on Wednesday, but I'll see you then. Bye. Absolutely, Lala. Bye-bye.